Hey guys, and welcome back to another Battle for Azeroth video. In today's video, we will be talking about and discussing one of Battle for Azeroth's most key elements covered in Blizzard's overview of the expansion, Azurite. Also in this video, we will also shine a big spotlight on Magni Bronzebeard and what role he may have inadvertently played in Legion and in the future expansion of Battle for Azeroth. First, we are going to do a brief overview of Azurite so everyone's on the same page, then we'll go ahead and move on to tying everything into the actual video. Now, to those of you guys who are unaware, here's a brief overview of what Azurite is. Azurite is the type of element which is a source of incredible power. It is the lifeblood of the Titan soul of Azeroth, which will be saturating the planet's surface due to Sargeras stabbing the planet with his big ass sword. This wound caused onto our world has thrown the planet into a critical state, causing this lifeblood to ooze from the lands. In game, Azurite will serve as a system which will replace the artifact weapon, artifact power, and netherite crucible systems that we currently have in place and see in game today. We, the players, will harness the power of Azurite through a special medallion given unto us by Magni Bronzebeard, known as the Heart of Azeroth. This medallion has the ability to absorb all nearby sources of Azurite, thereby strengthening us by allowing us to upgrade our gear. The more Azurite we obtain, the more our gear progresses through the leveling system, allowing us to choose certain traits to enhance our specialization and our roles. Now, why is Azurite so powerful in the lore? Well, in addition to the game mechanics and how it enhances the players and gameplay, it's the blood of a Titan, and we all know what the powers of a Titan can do. With the essence of the Well of Eternity, the raw power emanating from the Well, and not only amplified arcane magic to a new level on its own entirely, but the Well also resulted in attracting the attention of the Burning Legion, resulting in the War of the Ancients, the first major Legion invasion which sundered our world. The power of the World Soul of Argus also allowed demons to be able to regenerate and heal quickly after they have passed away if they haven't died in the Twisting Nether, as we have learned through our questing on Argus. However, when it comes to the specific details of Azurite, all we know right now is that it is an extremely powerful element. Once it emerges onto the surface, it crystallizes and immediately becomes a spire, thrumming with incredible energy. Azurite is so powerful that although the Alliance and Horde are not completely aware of the most efficient way of how to hone this element, we do know that it can be the weapon which can lead to our enemies' undoing. This has ultimately caused the Alliance and the Horde to, in addition to being at each other's throats in the conflict throughout the whole expansion, to also be at pretty much a nuclear arms race. Whoever amasses the most amount of this Azurite will have the upper hand. Now guys, this is where things become highly centered around speculation. This is also where things become pretty interesting if you decide to stick around. Now, this whole speculation part of the video will be revolving around this one question. Can we trust Magni Bronzebeard? In the dialogue and whispers of Il'gynoth during the Emerald Nightmare, 3 lines are pretty important and critical to the topic that we are discussing at hand. The first one is this.
The King of Diamonds has been made a pawn.
Magni, if you did not notice, is a walking K-Jeweler store. It's only a matter of time before he becomes a payday DLC. In the Cataclysm, Magni noticed that the world of Azeroth was suffering, so in order to better listen to our world's cries, he underwent a Titan ritual to better commune with Azeroth and find out everything that was wrong with it. However, the ritual ended up crystallizing him entirely, making him the King of Diamonds. This line, Il'gynoth says, perfectly fits in with Magni. Now let's go ahead and go on to the second line.
5 keys to open our way. 5 torches to light our path.
5 keys, 5 pillars of creation. Near the start of Legion, Magni, along with us, Bronn, and Khadgar, traveled to Ulduar, where he revealed to us that Azeroth was alive. It was a Titan, and it has chosen Magni to be the sort of the middleman, the speaker between us and the planet. It was here where Magni was informed and also informed us of the 5 pillars of creation, the tools that were used following the war against the Black Empire to order Azeroth. However, the pillars would now be needed to close off the source of the current Legion threat and invasion, the portal within the Tomb of Sargeras. But how would the pillars tie into Magni playing into the old god's hands? We'll get there.
The Lord of Ravens will turn the key.
The Lord of Ravens, being Khadgar, will turn the key. Khadgar will inadvertently play into the hands of the old gods by tasking the players to go to each zone in the Broken Isles to acquire the Pillars of Creation. The Pillars of Creation will then lead to a sequence of events in which the players will assault the Tomb of Sargeras, but instead of closing the portal, well, we know what happens. Velen runs through, we follow behind him, and Kil'jaeden is killed. However, Illidan also uses the Sargeras Keystone to rip a tear in reality and shorten the distance between Azeroth and Argus, allowing us to assault the Legion capital and raid Antorus, the Burning Throne. The concluding events to Antorus will ultimately result in Sargeras coming to us, whooping out his big-ass titany sword and stabbing Azeroth with it, causing the lifeblood of Azeroth to spill onto the lands and allowing the Old Gods an opportunity to break free from their prisons and their cells, or perhaps feed off of the chaos and grow stronger.
At the hour of her third death, she ushers in our coming.
This event will mark the third time that catastrophic damage has been dealt onto our planet. The first being the War of the Ancients and the First Sundering, the second being Deathwing's Cataclysm, and the third being the Fallen Titan's last spiteful act. The Old Gods have already attempted to use Sargeras to liberate them before, during the War of the Ancients. In the War of the Ancients, the Old Gods manipulated the timeways, causing temporal anomalies and rifts within the world to appear, which resulted in Broxigar, Ronan, and Crassus to be sent back in time 10,000 years ago to the events of that war and for history to be altered entirely. The timeline was literally being rewritten. The Old Gods saw this point in time as the most likely and recent scenario and event of where they could eventually break free, when all enemies are exhausting themselves against each other. The world is in chaos, and also the world is engulfed in war. If everything that we have said is true, then Magni would have been a pawn of the void since the beginning of his reawakening. The Old Gods would have wanted all of this to happen because, like in their attempt to break free during the War of the Ancients, the world is now in a time where enemies are exhausting themselves against each other, Horde versus Alliance. The planet is in chaos and still recovering from the war against the Legion, yet Azeroth is once again engulfed in war. If Magni, the King of Diamonds, was made to be a pawn to make the Lord of Ravens, being Khadgar, turn the key, leading to the events of Azeroth's third death being Sargeras stabbing Silithus with his sword, then he would have truly ushered in the Old Gods coming, as Il'gynoth has stated. The Old Gods will use this meaningless struggle between factions as an opportune time to free themselves and bring about the powers of the Void, the likes of which we have never before seen. Because you better bet your ass that even though Battle for Azeroth cinematic that we saw was centered solely around a faction conflict, the Old Gods are not just sitting on their ass doing absolutely nothing and letting us just weaken ourselves and not taking advantage of that. If Magni was being used by the Old Gods in Legion, then how is he playing into their hands in Battle for Azeroth? Will Azerite and the medallion he gave us also turn out to be something that will eventually be used against us or turned against us? Sources say that it is through communing with Azeroth that Magni gets the idea to give us this medallion, but it was also through communing with Azeroth that Magni had the idea to acquire the 5 Pillars of Creation, which led to the sequence of events resulting in Sargeras arriving and stabbing our planet. Azeroth's third death. If the Old Gods can easily manipulate him, especially now that he has special ties with the planet due to the titanic ritual he went through in the Cataclysm, then are we also going to be playing into the hands of the Void by listening to Magni, who might be a pawn at this point in time? Can he be trusted, and should he be trusting the voice of Azeroth that he's hearing? Azeroth has been racked with war. She has been damaged by Sargeras, and Magni Bronzebeard, like Neltharion Deathwing, has very close ties to the Earth. One was the Earth Warder, and another went through a whole ritual to become crystallized and become one with the Earth. This ultimately can make them much more susceptible to being corrupted by the Old Gods. The voice that Magni believes to be Azeroth may in fact not be Azeroth. Buried beneath the earth are the Old Ones who seek to break free, and if everything we have stated about Magni being a pawn in Legion is true, then he may still be inadvertently working to progress the works of the Void in the upcoming expansion. So guys, again, to make a quick recap in case you all did get lost somewhere in the video, the King of Diamonds is made a pawn, being Magni being a servant of the Old Gods. 5 keys to open our way. Magni tells Khadgar to embark the players towards acquiring the 5 Pillars of Creation, which we then use in various events, including traveling to the Tomb of Sargeras to close the portal. But instead of doing only just that, we also follow Kil'jaeden into the Twisting Nether, which leads Illidan to establishing a rift and Sargeras being able to easily come to Azeroth, dealing unto our planet its third death. At the hour of her third death, she will usher in our coming. This then leads to the worry that if Magni was manipulated by the old gods to play a role in all of this, then he is still being manipulated at this point by giving us the Heart of Azeroth in Battle for Azeroth, to which we will use to collect and absorb Azerite with, the lifeblood of a Titan, which holds so much power that it might just play a part in trying to screw us over in the future. Anyways guys, that's pretty much it to this video at hand. I really do appreciate you guys for watching the video. If you guys did like the video, make sure you leave a like on the video as it truly helps the channel. And if you guys want to throw in your 2 cents on the topic and correct me on a few issues or want to add more to what I said, then please by all means go ahead and comment down what you have to say in the comments below so myself and others can be more well informed on the topic at hand. Once again guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit the notification bell next to the sub button so you can stay caught up with the channel. And once again guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you all later.